Park Yin sat in front of her vanity table, her hands skillfully applying a soft-colored lip tint to her lips. The ivory knee-length dress she wore gave her an elegant and mature appearance. Her hair, usually just tied up carelessly, was now let down and styled with slight waves at the ends, an extra effort because tonight, she was having dinner with her family at an upscale restaurant in downtown Seoul. "Sweetheart, are you ready?" Her mother's voice echoed from behind the door before she opened it and stepped into the room. Yin turned and gave a small smile, almost. But instead of just checking in and leaving, her mother walked further into the room, looking at Yin with an expression full of hope. Her lips curled into a satisfied smile, like an artist admiring her nearly finished painting. "Wow, you look so beautiful tonight, sweetheart," her mother said, her eyes sparkling. "But, may I fix a little part of your hair on the left side here?" Yin nodded slightly, feeling a bit puzzled. Her mother usually wasn't this particular about her appearance, and for some reason, tonight she seemed unusually excited. "What's going on, Mom? You seem more excited than I am," Yin joked, half suspicious. Her mother laughed. "Well, it's not often we have a family dinner like this. I just want everything to be perfect," but her eyes hinted at something more than just an ordinary dinner. After a few final adjustments to her necklace and a last spritz of perfume, Yin finally left the room with her mother. Downstairs, her father and Jaehyun, her older brother by 2 years, were already sitting comfortably in the living room, looking like they had been waiting for a while. As soon as Jaehyun saw Yin coming down, he whistled softly. "Whoa, who is this? Park Yin or a trending K-drama star?" Yin rolled her eyes. "Oh, come on brother, that's so extra." "I'm serious." Jaehyun stood and bowed dramatically. "Thank you for gracing us with your presence, princess." Yin laughed in half annoyance, throwing a small cushion at him. "Stop it." "Oh my, you too." Their father shook his head while smiling, then stood to break it up. "Come on now, before that restaurant turns into a food stall because we're too late." With light-hearted laughter still lingering, the Park family finally stepped out of the house and got into the car, heading toward their destination. The Park family's car stopped in front of a luxurious restaurant located in the heart of Seoul. As soon as they got out of the car, a waiter promptly welcomed them with great respect. "Good evening, Park family. Please follow me. Your room has been prepared." Yin glanced at her mother, who smiled mysteriously, then looked at her brother, Jaehyun, who seemed indifferent. But there was something in the air tonight, and that feeling grew stronger as they passed the main dining area and were led down a hallway to a private dining room. The moment the door opened, Yin's steps came to a sudden halt. Her eyes widened when she saw who was already seated inside. Jeon Jungkook, along with his parents. The Jeon family wasn't an ordinary family. They owned one of South Korea's largest conglomerates, spanning real estate, hospitality, and technology. But behind the scenes, the Jeons were also known as one of the elite mafia pillars with immense influence. Though the public knew them as a business dynasty, in close circles, the name Jeon was synonymous with unquestionable power. The same went for the Park family. Yin's father had been a longtime business partner of Mr. Jeon, and the two had been friends since their youth. In addition to their legal ventures, they were also part of the same underground organization, trusted as two of the key figures maintaining the balance of power among major families. And now, the son and daughter of these two families were in the same room. "Ah, you've arrived," Mr. Jeon greeted warmly, rising from his seat to shake Mr. Park's hand. "Please have a seat," Mrs. Jeon added with a warm smile. But Yin remained frozen in place, her eyes wide as she stared at Jungkook as if she'd seen a ghost. She hadn't expected this dinner to involve the Jeon family at all. Jaehyun, walking behind her, gave her a gentle pat on the shoulder and whispered, "You can stop looking so shocked, Yin. You act like you just found out the world is round." Yin shot her brother a sharp look, then awkwardly walked to her seat. She sat across from Jungkook, trying to hide her now faintly trembling hands under the table. Jungkook's face remained calm, as though none of this fazed him. The dinner conversation began. They discussed new business ventures, company collaborations, organizational projects, and even childhood memories of Jungkook and Jaehyun tagging along with their fathers on out-of-town trips. Yin chuckled along occasionally, but her mind couldn't escape one question. Why is Jungkook here? And finally, the answer came. Mr. Jeon took a sip of his red wine, then set the glass down calmly. He leaned back in his chair, eyes scanning everyone with a meaningful smile. "Actually," he began, "this dinner isn't just a reunion or about business partnerships." Everyone turned to him. Yin sat up straighter, her curiosity intensifying. "Mr. Park and I have been thinking about this for some time. Our children are grown, our backgrounds are aligned, and our families are close. So," he shifted his gaze to Jungkook and Yin, "we'd like to arrange a marriage between the two of you." Yin nearly dropped her spoon. Her face flushed instantly, eyes widening in panic at Jungkook, then at her parents. She opened her mouth, but no sound came out. Meanwhile, Jungkook just looked at her calmly, as if he had known this all along. Even Mrs. Park looked pleased and approving, while Mr. Park simply nodded, agreeing without hesitation. Jaehyun, sitting right beside Yin, raised an eyebrow and chuckled softly. You're so dramatic, Yin. Relax. It's been obvious for a while you've had a thing for Jungkook. Brother, Yin hissed, smacking her brother's thigh under the table, but everyone had heard it. Jungkook smiled slightly, and for the first time that evening, he spoke. I don't mind, he said, eyes fixed on Yin. Besides, I like girls who can make a dinner this entertaining. Yin's face grew hotter. She was sure Jungkook had heard what Jaehyun just said. Damn her brother. Now, everyone knew that she actually liked Jungkook, and that secret had been exposed because of her loudmouth sibling. The only thing she wished for now was for the restaurant floor to open up and swallow her whole. Yin, her father called gently but firmly. All eyes turned to her now. Yin looked up, startled to find herself the center of attention. We've all talked about this before, Mr. Park continued, but even so, the final decision is yours. If you're not okay with it, we won't force you. Finally, Yin took a deep breath and gathered the courage to speak. If everything has really been thought through, and Jungkook doesn't mind either. She glanced briefly at the man, then looked back at her parents. Then I won't refuse. I agree. Smiles spread across everyone's faces. Good, Mr. Park said with a satisfied nod. In that case, it's settled. The engagement will be next week, and the wedding into months. And before that, Mrs. Jeon added, let's make sure you both have enough time to get closer. Yin blushed, while Jungkook gave a small nod. Amid the quiet cheers and pleased expressions, only Yin still couldn't believe this was really happening. But when her eyes met Jungkook's again, for the first time that evening, she felt calm. Several days had passed since the family dinner that changed everything. And today was a rather crucial day for Park Yin and Jeon Jungkook, the day they were going to pick out their engagement rings. But that wasn't what made Yin's heart pound. It was the man in the driver's seat, Jeon Jungkook. Just minutes ago, he had picked her up from home himself. But inside the car, it was cold, silent, awkward. Jungkook drove with his eyes focused straight ahead, occasionally glancing at her to make sure she was comfortable. Meanwhile, Yin, normally chatty and full of conversation, just stared out the window, nervously tugging at the edge of her sleeve. It had been 15 minutes. Jungkook kept driving calmly, sneaking glances at Yin, who hadn't said a word and kept fiddling with her sleeve. Usually, Yin could fill the silence with any topic under the sun, but today, her mind was too full. Especially now that their status had changed to engaged to be, even the sound of car horns felt louder than usual. On the other hand, Jungkook wasn't exactly great at breaking the ice. He was calm, quiet, and a bit stiff when it came to starting conversations. Why is this so awkward? He used to visit our house all the time, and it felt normal. But now, it's like filming a reality show without a script, Yin muttered in her head. After a few more minutes of silence, Yin finally dared to speak up. Jungkook, have you ever imagined choosing a ring with me one day? Jungkook glanced at her, raising an eyebrow. No. Yin glared. Wow. Straight to the point, huh? No dramatic line to make me happy? Jungkook gave a faint smile. Even if I said I did, would you believe me? Not really. Yin grinned. But at least say something like, I've been waiting for this moment or something cheesy, so I can cringe and call you a liar. Jungkook chuckled softly. I'm not good at making girls cringe, but I do confuse them a lot. Yin laughed. Slowly, the tightness in her chest started to ease. So, what kind of ring do you want, my fiancé? She asked playfully in a mock formal tone. Jungkook pretended to think. Whatever you like, as long as you're not embarrassed to show it off in the family group chat. Yin burst out laughing. Wow, you really get how girls think, huh? Kind of. Jaehyun complains about your group chats often. Still, I want to know your taste. Are you more into simple styles or sparkly ones like disco lights? Jungkook gave her a funny look. Yin seemed to be returning to her usual self, not shy and awkward like earlier. Let's not go with disco lights. Don't want to blind people every time you raise your hand. Yin giggled. True. They might think I'm Jing a set. I prefer something not too big, but just right, Jungkook said with a small smile. Not too plain either. Something better than a claw machine prize. Yin laughed even harder. Okay, so we agree. Nothing tacky. Simple but elegant. The kind of ring that makes people go, ah, real engagement. Not is this just YouTube content? Jungkook turned to her, speechless for a moment at what she'd just said. They both laughed at the same time. The awkwardness in the car began to melt away, like ice thawing under the sun. For the first time that day, Yin felt much more at ease. Turns out, even if Jungkook wasn't the chatty type, he could still make her laugh, and that made her feel just a little bit more comfortable. After choosing the ring that made Yin's heart race every time she looked at her finger, they agreed to immediately move on to the next agenda, the wedding dress fitting. And it wasn't without reason. Yin understood just how packed Jungkook's schedule was. If they delayed it, there was no telling when he'd be available again. Upon arriving at the boutique, Yin was warmly greeted by the staff. A dazzling collection of dresses was presented to her, from classic to modern styles, from simple cuts to intricately detailed designs. Yin tried them one by one. Each time she stepped out of the fitting room, she stood in front of the large mirror, staring at her reflection, hoping to find the one. But the more dresses she tried, the more confused she became. They all looked beautiful, but none of them truly felt like the one. She eventually stood in the middle of the room, wearing the fourth dress that flowed beautifully across the boutique floor, and let out a long sigh. God, why is choosing a dress harder than picking a college major? She muttered while looking at herself in the mirror. Jungkook, who had been sitting on a long sofa scrolling through his phone, turned at the sound of her complaint. "You don't like that one either?" he asked, this time stepping closer. Yin turned to him and nodded slightly. "It's pretty, but it doesn't feel right. I'm getting more confused." She took a deep breath and looked at Jungkook with a bit of hesitation. "Can you help me? You're going to be my husband, so I want to know which one you think suits me best." Jungkook was quiet for a moment, then gave a small nod. "Okay, show me your top 3 picks, and I'll help you choose." Quickly, the boutique staff helped Yin switch dresses based on her choices. One by one, she walked out wearing a different gown. The first, a classic lace gown with detailed embroidery on the chest and sleeves. The second, a sleeveless modern dress with an align cut and dramatic train. And the third, a simple, slim silhouette gown with a light veil trailing behind her. Jungkook stood silently, watching. His face remained mostly unreadable, as always. But when Yin walked out wearing the third dress, his gaze lingered a little longer than before. "The third one," he finally said. Yin blinked. "Are you sure? This one's the simplest." Jungkook looked her straight in the eyes and nodded slightly. "Exactly. You look comfortable. Your face is more relaxed than earlier. You suit things that aren't too complicated. And to me, this one looks the most elegant and luxurious. And it just feels like you." Yin gave a small smile and nodded. "Okay, if my future husband says so, then we'll go with this one." Jungkook returned her smile briefly. After that, Yin headed back into the fitting room to change. Inside the spacious, tightly closed fitting room, Yin stood in front of the large mirror, struggling to reach the zipper on the back of her dress. Her hands kept trying to pull it down, but the awkward position only made her more frustrated. "Ugh, why do they put zippers in the most impossible spots?" she grumbled while trying again unsuccessfully. Finally giving up, Yin leaned toward the door and pulled back the thick curtain that separated the fitting room from the main boutique floor. "Excuse me, can someone help me, please?" she called out gently. But the voice that answered was deep and unmistakably male. "Yes, miss. Do you need anything?" Yin froze. Her eyes widened. "A man?" She immediately yanked the curtain closed. "Never mind," she shouted from inside. Moments later, footsteps approached, followed by a familiar deep voice. "Yin, what's wrong? I heard you shouting," Jungkook asked from outside. Yin panicked briefly, unsure whether to respond, but eventually, she decided to be honest. I can't unzip the dress," she admitted, voice low. There was a pause, then Jungkook spoke again. "If you're okay with it, I'll come in. The only staff here are male." Yin bit her lip, mortified, but the dress truly wouldn't come off on its own. "Okay, but don't look at anything weird." Jungkook entered slowly, making sure the curtain was closed tightly behind him. His expression was calm, his posture relaxed, and there was no hint of nervousness or awkwardness on his face. Inside, Yin stood with her back to the mirror, facing away from Jungkook, her hands still trying to reach the stubborn zipper. Jungkook approached and gently touched the top of the dress. "I'll pull it down slowly, okay?" Yin only gave a small nod, her face flushing red all the way to her ears. She held her breath, but what they didn't expect, the zipper was looser than they thought. As soon as Jungkook pulled it halfway shut, the dress slipped straight to the floor, pooling around Yin's feet and revealing her body clad only in a simple white satin bra and lace underwear. Yin froze. Jungkook did too. The room fell into complete silence. The only sound was Yin's heartbeat pounding like war drums in her ears. She stood there, utterly still, her skin burning with embarrassment. Jungkook's eyes dropped for a fraction of a second, just a glance, then looked straight ahead at the wall. No surprise, no reaction, no comment, just silence, neutral, calm. I didn't mean to. The dress just fell, Yin stammered, panicking as she bent down to grab the fabric. Jungkook replied briefly, still expressionless. I'll step out. He turned around without rushing, opened the curtain, and closed it again silently. He didn't look back. He didn't laugh. He didn't say a single teasing word. And that was exactly what made Yin's heart race even faster. She stood in the middle of the fitting room, hugging the dress tightly, her face still crimson. How can he be that calm? Does my body really not look good to him at all? Meanwhile, outside, Jungkook sat waiting quietly. There was no sign that he was suppressing laughter or discomfort, but the way his fingers tapped rhythmically against the arm of the sofa, constant and steady, perhaps held something he wasn't showing. That night, after a long and exhausting wedding celebration, Yin finally arrived at Jungkook's private mansion, her new home, the place she would now live starting today. She had already taken off her wedding dress and changed into a satin kimono. Her husband had not yet entered the room. Yin didn't bother thinking too much about it. Right now, all she wanted was a relaxing bath. As soon as the bathroom door opened, the soothing scent of lavender from a bath bomb dissolved in the tub greeted her. Yin let out a relieved sigh. It seemed the mansion's maid had deliberately prepared it for her. Finally. Her body felt heavy, tired from head to toe. Now that she was ready to relax in the bath, Yin began to take off her kimono. But just as she bent down to remove her underwear, her movement stopped. Her eyes widened slightly. There was a red stain. She froze for a few seconds, then quickly checked to confirm. And yes, it was the first day of her period. Her body stiffened, and her heart sank into a disappointment she couldn't quite put into words. This is supposed to be her first night with Jungkook, and her body had decided to start its monthly cycle today? Damn it, she muttered quietly, lowering her head. She stood there in silence, staring down at her own body. The enthusiasm that had filled her earlier now turned into a lingering unease. Eventually, she slipped her satin kimono back on and sat on the edge of the bathtub, staring blankly at the steaming water. Even my body won't cooperate, she mumbled in frustration. Then she looked up, catching a glimpse of her reflection in the large bathroom mirror. Maybe he didn't expect anything tonight anyway, she whispered softly, trying to calm herself. But still, the disappointment clung to her. After all, she had loved Jungkook for a long time. A short while later, she stepped out to get a pad and prepare for a shower. There was no point dwelling on it. This wasn't something she could control. As soon as Yin stepped out of the bathroom, her hair was still slightly damp, and her body was once again wrapped in a satin kimono. Her steps were slow, and as she opened the door, her eyes immediately landed on Jungkook, who was already sitting on the sofa. The tuxedo he had worn throughout the party was now gone. Only a white shirt remained, the top buttons undone. His sleeves were rolled up to his elbows, his hair slightly messy, yet his face remained as calm as ever. Are you done? He asked, his tone a bit softer than usual. Yes, Yin answered shortly. Jungkook stood up and walked past her into the bathroom. Meanwhile, Yin just stood there for a moment before walking over to the bed and lying down on the empty side. Her back was facing the side of the bed that Jungkook would occupy. She stared at the wall in silence, gently biting her lip. Whatever hopes she had for the night faded instantly. A few minutes later, Jungkook came out of the bathroom. His hair was slightly wet, and he had changed into comfortable sleepwear. He didn't say anything, just climbed into bed, adjusted his pillow, and turned off the small lamp beside his side of the bed. Everything was done in silence. No hugs, no kisses. That night, they slept with their backs turned to each other. Yin tried to hold in her feelings, but the longer she lay there, the tighter her chest felt. In her mind, countless questions began to rise. Is he not attracted to me? Am I not pretty enough? Does he not love me at all and only accept this arranged marriage for his family? She bit her lip harder. A mixture of disappointment and sadness weighed on her, but her body was already tired. She finally closed her eyes, forcing herself to sleep, even though her mind was still in chaos. What she didn't know was that on the other side of the bed, Jungkook hadn't fallen asleep at all. His eyes were open, staring into the darkness of the room with a blank expression. His breaths were slow, but his mind was far from calm. He didn't move, didn't speak, but his heart was filled with thoughts he didn't know how to express. A week had passed since their wedding, and their relationship was still distant. Jungkook didn't ignore her, but only spoke when necessary. Every night they shared a bed, but there were no hugs, no kisses. They still slept with their backs to each other. Until one day, Jungkook received a phone call from his mother asking him to take his grandmother back to Pohang. She hadn't gone home since the wedding, and though she planned to return the next day, she insisted on being accompanied by Jungkook and Yin because she wanted to get to know Yin better. In truth, Jungkook wanted to refuse. He needed rest. There were plenty of others who could take his grandmother home, but the old woman was stubborn. She wanted Jungkook and Yin specifically. In the end, Jungkook had no choice but to agree. Driving to Pohang would take at least 3 hours and 30 minutes one way, making it around 7 hours total for a round trip. On top of that, he didn't want to stay the night at his grandmother's house. He had too much work waiting in Seoul. So that very same day, he decided they would return to Seoul right after dropping her off. The journey home from Pohang wasn't as bright as it had been when they left that morning. Gray clouds hung heavily in the sky, and soon light rain began to fall, dotting the car's windshield. Behind the wheel, Jungkook was focused, both hands gripping the steering wheel tightly, his eyes fixed ahead, trying to see through the curtain of rain that was getting heavier by the minute. In the passenger seat beside him, Yin sat silently. Her hands were folded on her lap, fingers intertwined tightly. There was no conversation, no soft laughter like one might expect from newlyweds. Ever since their awkward and failed first night, their relationship hadn't warmed up. Instead, it had grown more rigid and cold. Outside the car, the drizzle turned into a small storm. Raindrops became heavy showers, soaking the now nearly empty road. Suddenly, the car felt slightly unsteady and heavier. Jungkook immediately slowed down, carefully steering the car to the shoulder of the road in a quiet area. "Feels like a flat tire," Jungkook murmured as he glanced at the side mirror. He rolled down the window to check, and sure enough, one of the rear tires was flat, almost deflated. He lightly hit the steering wheel. Damn it. Intending to get out and change the tire, Jungkook started opening the door. But before he could step out, Yin grabbed his arm. "Don't go out now. Look at the rain. It's pouring," she said softly but firmly. Jungkook paused, staring at his wife, who, for the first time in a while, showed concern. "You'll get sick," she added. Jungkook looked at her for a moment. A strange feeling stirred in his chest. Not cold, not awkward, something softer. He nodded and closed the door again. He let out a long sigh and reached for his phone, trying to call for help. But a few seconds later, he shook his head. No signal, maybe because of the rain. The car fell into silence once again. Only the sound of the heavy rain hammering the windshield filled the space. Time seemed to slow down. They could do nothing but wait. For how long, they didn't know. The silence in the car started to feel suffocating. Yin glanced out the window, then at Jungkook, then back ahead. She bit her lip, uncomfortable with the dead quiet, like they were two strangers trapped together. To break the tension, Yin finally opened the small compartment in the middle and pulled out a bag of snacks they had packed that morning. She slowly tore the packaging and hesitantly offered it to Jungkook. "Want some?" she asked briefly. Jungkook glanced at her and nodded. He took one and popped it into his mouth. "No thank you." No smile, but Yin didn't mind. At least he didn't reject her. A few seconds passed, filled only with the soft sound of chewing before Yin finally spoke, slightly annoyed. "Why is it even raining? I checked the weather forecast this morning. It said it'd be sunny all day." Jungkook raised an eyebrow and looked at her. "Weather forecasts aren't God. They can be wrong," he replied casually, his tone light but not mocking. Yin scoffed softly, still annoying. "If I'd known it'd be like this, I would have asked the driver to take Grandma instead. Even if we came along, at least you wouldn't have to drive like this." Jungkook merely nodded slightly, then looked back out the window. But this time, the corner of his lips seemed to lift, barely noticeable, but it was there. Whether it was because of the rain or because they were finally talking again, even if only about the weather. As the rain pounded harder on the windshield, Yin suddenly felt thirsty. She reached for a bottle of water from the door pocket, opened the cap, and began drinking. But whether from slippery hands or haste, as she lifted the bottle again, it slipped from her grip, and the water inside spilled, soaking most of her shirt. "Ugh, great," she muttered under her breath. Her shirt was drenched, especially the front. Fortunately, her short skirt remained dry, but her upper body was now cold. Jungkook merely glanced at her and let out a quiet scoff. "You're so clumsy at the worst possible time," he commented flatly. Yin sighed in frustration, staring at her soaked shirt. "Better I just take it off than catch a cold," she muttered to herself. Without thinking too much, she peeled off the wet shirt, leaving only a thin gray tank top clinging to her skin and her short skirt. Jungkook glanced her way again, and this time stared longer. His eyes narrowed, his expression sharpening, not with embarrassment, but irritation. Yin, noticing the look, returned it with a challenging glare. What? What's the problem? It's not like you're interested in me anyway, she said, her voice sharp though she tried to sound indifferent. Jungkook frowned. What's that supposed to mean? Yin shrugged as she grabbed another snack, her face calm but her words serious. I've known it from the start. You've never been interested in me. You've shown it clearly more than once. Like when? Jungkook now turned to her more seriously, brows drawn together. Yin chuckled bitterly. Back at the fitting, you saw me in nothing but a bra and panties, but you didn't react at all. You just, whatever. Even since we got married, from the first night until now, you've slept next to me, but you've never touched me. So don't act weird or bothered just because I'm sitting here in a tank top. Jungkook fell silent. What was she even talking about? Her words sounded all over the place to him. He hadn't even responded yet when Yin spoke again. If you're really not interested and don't love me, then why did you agree to this arranged marriage? Why didn't you just say no and marry someone you actually love? Hearing those words come out of Yin's mouth, Jungkook grew even more surprised. He looked at his wife seriously, his brows slightly furrowed. His chest felt heavy as he realized one thing: Yin had misunderstood him all this time. I just want to ask, Jungkook said, his voice now calmer but serious. What exactly were you expecting on our wedding night? You were on your period. Yin's eyes widened instantly. You knew? Jungkook nodded slowly, then stared straight ahead for a moment before answering. I saw the sanitary pad wrapper in the bathroom. Obviously, it was yours. Would it be mine? Yin fell silent. Her face turned red, caught between embarrassment, awkwardness, and confusion about how to respond. But Jungkook wasn't finished. If you were on your period, what did you think we were going to do on our wedding night? Cuddle? Kiss? He asked honestly. If it was just that, I'm not sure I could have held myself back. I'm a man, your husband, you know that. Yin's eyes grew even wider. She truly didn't expect that kind of confession from Jungkook. All this time, she had assumed he wasn't interested. But it turned out, he had been holding himself back. He kept his distance not because he didn't want her, but because he wanted her too much, and didn't want to cross the line at the wrong time. Jungkook glanced at her again. I thought it was better to stay silent and just sleep, rather than lose control and make you uncomfortable on our first night. He let out a long sigh, then turned back to look at Yin, who now sat frozen, her gaze fixed downward. His stare was sharp, but not harsh. And about that changing room incident, he continued, his tone firm yet gentle. Yeah, I saw you wearing just a bra and panties. So what? Did you want me to devour you? Make love to you right there in that tiny fitting room? Yin instantly looked up, shocked by his words. Her eyes widened, and her cheeks flushed with embarrassment. Jungkook continued, sorry, Yin. I'm still a man who can think straight in that situation. And even though you were my fiancé, even though we were already set to be married, that doesn't mean I'd just take advantage of you, especially in a place like that. The atmosphere fell silent again, but this time, it wasn't due to coldness. It was because Yin was truly at a loss for words. She felt awkward, embarrassed, and guilty all at once. She didn't even dare to look Jungkook in the eye. But don't ever say I'm not interested in you, Jungkook added softly, because that's just nonsense. Yin lowered her head even more, biting her lip gently. She felt guilty for having misunderstood him, for judging her husband based only on silence and actions she had misread. I didn't know, she whispered. I just felt strange. We got married, but it's like you weren't interested in me at all. I was scared that you regretted marrying me. Jungkook closed his eyes for a moment, then answered quietly, I've never regretted our marriage, not even for a second. Jungkook finally turned his body fully to face Yin. His face no longer showed tension or anger. His gaze was soft, calming, and it made Yin's chest tighten with nervousness. She could feel her cheeks heating up. I'm sorry, Jungkook said softly. Sorry for letting you keep guessing how I feel. Sorry for not explaining from the beginning. Yin lowered her head, her fingers clutching the hem of her skirt. She felt embarrassed, yet warm, cherished, and understood. But suddenly, Jungkook's tone shifted slightly, becoming more serious. But I'm also upset. You judged me the wrong way. You jumped to conclusions without asking, without knowing. Yin looked up, surprised to see her husband's gaze turn sharp again, not cold, but filled with determination. And because of that, you need to be punished, he murmured quietly. Before Yin could even ask what he meant, Jungkook had already pulled her effortlessly into his lap. She gasped, startled, her hands gripping his shoulders for balance. Jungkook, she exclaimed nervously. But her husband only pushed the driver's seat back, creating more space between them. His face was so close now, his breath brushing against her skin. His eyes didn't waver, staring deep into hers. Relax, he said, his voice low but gentle. I'm not going to hurt you. I just want you to know, you're not a wife I can ignore so easily. Yin froze, her body tense, but she didn't resist. She could feel Jungkook's heartbeat, and hers racing just as fast. Your period should be over by now, right? Jungkook asked again, and Yin only nodded. Damn. Jungkook growled under his breath. I didn't expect that the first time we'd make love would be inside this car, when we have a perfectly big bed at home. Hearing that, Yin's eyes widened in shock. Was Jungkook serious? Here? Now? Had her husband lost his mind? But all sense of reason vanished the moment Jungkook's lips crashed onto hers in an intense kiss. It seemed that waiting for the rain to stop wasn't boring after all, not when they passed the time doing something they had both been longing for.